How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining me for my podcast with Lane Adams. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, and the recording did not pick up till about 15-20 minutes into the interview. So basically what Lane talked about in the first 15-20 minutes was his upbringing in Oklahoma and things like that. And it was kind of interesting. I wanted to make sure you guys know exactly what he's talking about, because Lane wasn't really a baseball player per se. He was more of a basketball player. He actually recruited to play basketball and went to South Missouri State, I believe it was, to play basketball, and then ended up getting drafted. And then the rest of the interview will continue from there, and you'll get a gist of what's going on. Still about a 45-minute interview, so still some good content. But just wanted to let you know we did have some technical difficulties, but enjoy the rest of the podcast. Here you go.
In the game, then 0 for 4 in a win. Like, you rather like go 4-4 in a loss than 0 for 4 in a win, if that makes sense. So that's like not a very healthy way to go about it, because you end up like internalizing everything. You kind of like just kind of playing for yourself. And then once you kind of see off that level, it's like, all right, everyone's goal here is just to win the game. And once you kind of like experience that and kind of like, all right, now I'm not playing for myself. You kind of that pressure, that self pressure you put on yourself goes away. There's still pressure, but
Right.
It's like you're kind of like you're pulling from everybody else. Like, you're in a little bit better spirits. Whereas like in the big leagues, if you don't get the job done, and you leave a runner on third, and your guy behind you gets the man, like, thank God, like, hell yeah, he did. Like, whereas that happens in the minor leagues, like you go out to defense kicking yourself in the ass because, like, damn, I just left the runner on third. Like, that whole, they lose the priority of winning in the minor leagues. They had when I played, and that wasn't just Kansas City, that was everybody.
Right.
So getting back to like playing winning baseball, trying to play to win the game, I love that. That's why I enjoyed playing in Mexico and Venezuela so much, because it's all about winning down there. So that's something I really realized, and that's something that the Royals really did really well. Is like they were all just, no one cared about how they did. They just wanted to win that game that day.
It's funny because as a fan, I've always liked watching minor league baseball, and it's because everybody's out there busting their ass. A little bit more than watching Major League Baseball, just because it's like, man, everybody's trying so hard. But like you said, then when you look at it in reality, they're not trying for the team. They're just trying really hard because they want to make it to the next level. But sometimes it does make for a better product on the field, though, just because everybody's trying so hard. It's like, sometimes you can take a break when there's a team behind you that someone else might pick up that little bit of slack. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to hear someone say that.
It's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting because guys down, you said it, guys down there play their asses off. They don't dog, running the bases.
Yeah.
They don't. There's not a lot of like that stuff you kind of see at the major league level, just because like you can't really afford to do that, because that might be the one reason you don't get called up versus, big leagues. Like, this guy's making X amount of dollars. He's driven in so many runs. He can hit a ground ball to second base, down by 5 runs in the 8th inning and just like half-ass it down the line. Like, you can't do that in the minor leagues, because that's just a different.
Word gets around too.
Yeah, and again, there's scouts in the stands, like, stopping you.
Yeah, they're still scouting you even after you've been drafted.
Yeah, if you dog it, they're like, they don't write down that you dog. They just write down that you run a freaking 8 seconds to first base. That's all they write down. So it's like you can't really afford to do that at that level.
That's crazy. Let me see here. How did you handle the uncertainty that came with like being kind of a bubble player, being called up, sent down, traded? I'm not saying you were necessarily that role, but like kind of being right there on the edge of the major leagues. How'd that feel?
Jason, that's exactly what role I was in.
Okay.
That's called spade a spade. At first, I didn't handle it very well.
Okay.
Everyone wants to be like the guy on the roster. Like, you want to be like the guy, the cornerstone guy. You want to be like set in there. I didn't handle it very well. It was frustrating. You start trying to, like, again, selfishly, because again, I'm like, in that, when it gets to that point, you're like, all right, I'm still in that I gotta make it mode. So it's like you start putting all this undue pressure on yourself. Now, this was, I'm kind of younger. all this undue pressure on yourself, and it just kind of it's taxing. It's taxing. It's not very healthy mentally. Like you start hanging on to every game, every at bat, just every. I mean, your just mentality shifts and your mood shifts from just every like a good game. I feel great. Bad game, I'd just be overly pissed off. Just like, damn, it messed up my opportunity. But as I got older and more mature, it's just like, all right, well, this is what it is. Someone's got to. There's like somebody's got to be in the situation. It might as well be me. If I can handle the situation better than someone else, someone else someone else is handling the situation the way I was handling it a few years ago. So if I can just put myself in a better mental framework and better have more clarity on my situation than, for example, my past self or past peers or peers competition, then I give myself a leverage, a leg up and leverage there. So that's kind of how I started going about. It's like, well, you know what? Yes, I am kind of that fringe 20 quad A type player, but guess what? I'd rather be a quad A player than a triple A player. So
there you go.
I started looking at a different perspective. Now, if I could have done that like 23, 24 instead of 27, 28, I wish I'd have, but that is what it is. It's just kind of perspective thing, and that's like a maturity thing. Luckily, I played long enough to where I got the opportunity to mature as a player, and not as a player, but as an adult and a human, that I was able to kind of like put things in the proper perspective.
Now, was there like and this is kind of you can kind of throw anybody's name out there, maybe somebody who's not even well known, but was there even ever somebody that helped you through that situation? Was there like one particular person or ball player that was like, hey, man, and you could kind of tell, like, maybe not directly, but indirectly kind of trying to nudge you, like, let's go this way. Let's help you out a little bit.
Vance Wilson, he was my manager at God, he was my manager in low A, high A, and double A. Like he was my manager like 4 or 5 straight years.
Oh wow.
So we had a pretty good relationship. I think he's the third base coach for the Royals right now. He's like he saw how much pressure I was putting on myself because again played so many damn years with them. That hey dude, like you like he goes I was a backup guy. He backed up Pudge and he backed up Mike Piazza.
Yeah, I heard of him. I couldn't remember he played.
Yeah, he's like guys, people hated when I was in the lineup that day. They come to the ballpark, they paid their money for their tickets. They see Vance Wilson catching and not Mike Piazza. Yeah, everyone's pissed off. He goes, because somebody's got to do it. But he's like, you can just learn to trust yourself, handle situations better, and just have a little more, just better perspective on your situation instead of be grateful where you're at and not trying to where you want to be at. Like you'll start to play the game with more freedom, and instead of trying to, every pitch, every at bat, your whole career for hanging on a thread. Like it kind of gives you that freedom to kind of relax, and then you can relax and settle yourself down. You're going to play the game at a higher level, and he was someone who always he had to. Now early on, he had to beat into my head a lot because I was young and stubborn. But as I got older, it wasn't until after I left Kansas City and I hadn't played for him in years that his message finally resonated. He's one of those things. One of these days, he always said, "One of these days you'll get it. One of these days you'll get it."
It's kind of like your parents. They do that too.
Shut up, Vance. I'm going to punch you in the throat. But it's one of these days you'll get it.
Yeah, 10 years down the road, you're like, I get it now. I
do
remember.
Get it. Yeah.
That's funny. So what is something that fans don't really see behind the scenes of the grind to the majors? Like, what's one thing if you had to be like, man, you know what? The minors really taught me this or showed me this, and nobody sees that.
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say. Damn. A really good question.
I mean, it could be horrible food, bad
food
sleeping
sucks.
accommodations.
I mean, everyone knows that minor league travel and pace sucks. I'm trying to. I mean, I can go on and on about that. I think just it's. I think people forget that a lot of these minor leaguers are young. They're young. They're 18, 19, 20-year-old, like, I mean, I was young.
Yeah, straight out of high
Like,
school.
still kids, man. Like I was like 9, I was a kid. Just like you're trying to handle all this, like you're trying to play the game at an elite level on a terrible schedule. You know, you're traveling 8 hours, 12 hours on a bus. You're making no money for most people. Your food's trash. You're staying at terrible hotels. Like, and it's just like, how do you handle that? Like, from like, how do you wake up every day and go about your day in a professional manner when nothing you do is professional? Like the hotels suck, food stinks, travel's brutal. It's like, how do you get up and treat yourself like a professional, like prepare like a professional, uh, train like a professional, eat, sleep, how do you do all that when just these just terrible conditions? Like, and then you're trying to figure that out as you're a young kid. Like most kids don't even know what it means to be a professional. It took me 3 years to understand, like, all right, this is like what I got to do and why I got to do it and how I got to do it. So a lot of kids just players don't even make it that far. They don't play long enough to really like that light bulb to go off. I think a lot of players don't understand, just like, everyone talks about the prospects are getting younger these days, and the prospect doesn't really, he's not in the big leagues at 21. Like, oh, he stinks. Like, no, like he's still a young kid trying to figure it out. Like, you don't understand. Like, what he's trying to do is like something that he's never really had to do before by himself on his own. And I think a lot of people lose perspective of that.
So I've always wondered, do the prospects, like the really big name guys, like, your number one draft picks, when they go through the minors, do they have to experience the same thing, or is it different for them?
They got a little bit okay. So like I was like, for Kansas City, I wasn't a big prospect, but Kansas City thought I was a pro. I was like number 10 prospect at one point for them. So I wasn't like a huge guy, but they valued me. I knew. So guys like that, like big prospects, if you're a top 5 pick, if you had a signing bonus, like you got some security. You know that like you had the financial means to kind of accommodate yourself. Like you're not worried about paying your rent. You're not worried about like eating out. You want to go like not eat the food after the game. You can go out to a restaurant, or some guys can't.
Right.
One of my roommates, he signed for $1,000. He had a kid on the way. It was pretty much costing him money to play. Like, he couldn't do anything. I would buy him meals every now and then because I had a little bit of
That's
money.
crazy. You really got to love the game to do that.
You really gotta love it. There's no chance I play in those conditions. Some of those guys are in. But so guys like that, it's still stressful because obviously they want to get to the big leagues too, but it's not. They have different stressors in their life. Like they're not worried about like, I can't eat here because I got to send this money back home for my girlfriend for her rent, things like that. Like they're not really worried about that type of stuff. They're less worried. Most of their stressors come from more on the field, where some of those other guys, they got to worry about stuff like off the field and on the field. So there's a little bit more of that to it.
It's interesting because we have a AA team down in Wichita, and I'm always curious what those guys do when they're not playing ball, because I know there's probably some of them that they may have to have a second job, even, I've heard before. So
yes, a lot of them work. Some of them work. I play with guys who would work. One guy would drive Uber before he goes to the ballpark in the mornings and stuff. Yeah, he would do that.
Who was it? Didn't Mark Cuban or somebody Uber at one time? Somebody real big, some real big owner or something, I thought, Ubered at one time.
Somebody, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, can't remember who it was, but yeah.
Let's see. You were known for your speed. Basically, how important was that tool in keeping your career alive?
Huge. Absolutely. If I wasn't fast, my career would have ended in 2016.
Really?
Yes. I got released. I was with Kansas. I was at the Yankees in AA. Wasn't hitting well, hitting like 240, 250, just not great at all. Stole a lot of bases. I had like 37 steals, like 2 caught stealings. That kind of kept me around, but just wasn't hitting well enough. And I got released. I come home, and I think I'm done because I hit terrible. No one's really calling me. I'm thinking about going back to school and play basketball at this point. Kansas City calls me. It's like, hey, we want to sign you back. So I get ready to I'm like driving to AA because I haven't signed yet, but I say, all right, He's like, drive to Double A. I only live like 2 hours from there.
Right.
Drive to Double A. We'll sign your contract. You can get started the next day. It's like, all right. So I'm driving there. My agent calls me. He's like, hey, where are you at? I was like, I'm in the Double A park. I'm in the Northwest Arkansas parking lot. Like, I'm there. He goes, don't go inside. The Cubs are about to. Cubs want to talk to you. The Cubs are talking to you. It's all right. Give me 30 minutes. He's like, get out of the parking lot. Like, just drive, go somewhere else. Don't sit in the parking lot.
Go to Starbucks.
Right. Yeah, go somewhere else. So he's like, all right, Cubs are going to offer you, they're going to offer you double what Kansas City's offering, and they're going to give you a chance to be like the September pinch runner, which I didn't get called up that year, but it's like, oh, that's way better situation.
Right.
Just the off fact that, hey, I could get called up. So I went there, ended up signing with the Cubs for the rest of the summer. It was like 6 weeks. Stole a bunch of bases there. Didn't get called up, unfortunately, but same thing. Braves. I signed a minor league deal with the Braves the next year, and I get off to a hot start. That's a hot start in AAA. Hit like 4 or 5 home runs the first 2 weeks. Me and this other outfielder are raking. His name is Mel Rojas Jr.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I remember him.
You heard this name?
Yeah, I remember
this
him.
guy's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he raked for a while.
He raked, and he still rakes. He was in Korea, he's like MVP in Korea, like Triple Crown winner in Korea. Yeah. So they release our 4th outfielder, and they're gonna cut our 4th outfielder in Atlanta, and me or him is gonna get called up. The only reason I got called up over Mel, because it's not because I was a better hitter than Mel. Mel's light years better hitter than I am. But the only reason I got called up was because I was faster and I could play center field. Mel didn't play center field. So I got called up solely because of my speed in that aspect. I got released. I got bounced around in 2018. I was hitting like 180 in AAA. It was brutal. Got called up in September anyways because of my speed, because it did be a pinch runner. So the speed kept me around for a long time. If I wasn't fast, I'd have played 6 years instead of 12.
So what'd you do to maintain your speed? I've always been curious how guys stay so fast, because I never did.
I just ran a lot of sprints. I made it. I was always naturally fast. Like, I was always, as a kid, I was fast. But then once I realized how speed could because I got called up in Kansas City my first year off my speed too. Like, Dyson was our pinch runner. Mm-hmm. They had Terrence Gore. So I was like a 3rd string pinch runner. So I was like, well, I'm here because
they were all about speed that first year.
Yeah, that's all it was. Exactly. So I was like, all right. So after that, I was like, all right, if I can just like stay fast, maybe even get a little bit faster, like running technique and things like that, I can really kind of prolong, give myself more opportunities. So I started, when I was about 24, 25, I started actually training my speed in the off season. I'd never done that before. I was like, I'm just naturally fast. I don't need to worry about it. So just sprint work, technique stuff. I had a sprint coach I had in the off season that I worked with, but yeah, every day, about 2-3 days a week, I work with a sprint guy.
I've always wondered, the guys on the game that are the 99 speeds, like how the hell are they that fast? First of all, and what do they do to maintain it? Because surely you can't just wake up and be like, I'm going to go run a 4.140, whatever.
Right. A lot of it's just genetics. Like, some
of those guys have those long legs and just
like, you're already like Byron Buxton is already freaking fat. He was fast as hell. Like, a lot of those guys are already upper echelon fast, but these guys start working on it. They're speed coaches now. Like, now they start running with good technique. That's how you go from like a 95 speed, MLB The Show radio,
right?
95 speed to a 99 speed. Like, that's how you take that like next step for those type of guys. Some of those guys
have like sprinter coaches, don't they?
Yeah, Salvador Perez will never be fast in his life. There's some guys who just won't ever be fast, and that's just what it is. He'll tell you that. He's like, yeah,
Mike Piazza is always going to be slow on the game.
As long as he can catch and hit homers, he don't need to run at all.
Nice, that's funny. Now, if you could go back and give rookie Lane Adams one piece of advice, what would it be?
I have 2 things I would tell myself. Stay true to who you are, and find Craig Wallenbrock. Greg was the guy. I changed my swing halfway through my career.
Okay.
And Greg Wallenbrock, he was the guy who worked with JD Martinez, overall his swing, Chris Taylor, all those guys.
Oh, wow.
He's the one who kind of prolonged my career. Like he's the one that I went from like, all right, I can actually hit in the big leagues now. He was one of those. He's the guy who helped me do that. I wish I would have found him at 18, 19 years old instead of 24. That's the one thing. Of course, he doesn't do social media. You don't know who he is. Like
Right.
I had to like know the right people. Like Raul Ibanez, I had no idea who this guy was. I knew
Right.
JD Martinez because I got called up in 14 with JD Martinez, made his debut, and it's like, I don't know if you remember JD Martinez in the Astros. Wasn't hitting homers like he was. I was like, all right, dude, I played against you before. What the hell are you doing differently? I didn't know JD. I was like, Raul, like, what's JD doing? He's like, all right, this guy.
Yeah, he's like a machine. Like he doesn't. You've never heard of the guy, but yeah, JD Martinez is like he knows so much about pitchers and hitting and everything. It's crazy.
So Raul Ibanez hooked me up with his guy, that Craig Wallenbrock, and I went out there and worked with him all off season. That changed my career instantly. My swing was pretty terrible coming up. So I was a raw athlete, didn't really know much. But he started teaching me how like hitting, bat path. This is kind of before the whole new swing revolution. This is 10 plus years ago. So he's the one that kind of like made different light bulbs go off for me offensively. It's like, all right, now I can be not just a speed and that defensive guy, I can actually be a major league hitter. And if it wasn't for him, I would have never gotten any hits in Major League Baseball. But I wish I would have found him when I was starting my career instead of halfway through it.
Well, I did see some interesting stuff, and I got some kind of rapid fire questions here for you that I thought were real fun. But to tell you, so far everything that you've told me, it's really interesting because I've only talked to people that are usually very passionate at a young age about baseball. So for you to be more passionate about basketball than baseball, but make a career out of baseball, that's very interesting to me. So, really, really interesting. Really appreciate it. I mean, I've learned so much that you wouldn't even understand from your standpoint, because it's just like natural for you. But these are some kind of fun questions. Just kind of real quick. We can run through these. I thought they were fun and interesting to get from your standpoint. So, first one I got here is favorite stadium you ever played in.
Favorite stadium I ever played in? I personally love Coors Field.
Really?
I love Coors Field. I got my first major league start there. I loved it. I just like that. I don't know if you noticed, but behind their center field wall, those trees, that's like a little park.
Oh, okay.
There's a little, like, walking park. There's a pond. There's a bench. You go
I
out
never
there,
knew that.
walk around. Yeah, I didn't either.
You can't see that from. Yeah, you can't see that on the game. It just looks like it's decoration.
Yeah, that's like an acre.
Oh, wow.
Huge. Or half acre. I don't know, an acre might be too big, but it's cool. So I always I don't know why. It's not the nicest ballpark. I just like playing there. I don't know why. I don't know. Truist is very nice. I played at Wrigley. Wrigley was cool. There's a lot of cool ballparks.
Wrigley's just different though.
Yeah,
Wrigley's more like the history and the nostalgia.
Nostalgic to that was cool. I had a home run at Wrigley. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I did read that about you.
Cool. But Coors was all cool, really cool. I never got to go to the Rogers Center. I got sent down the trip. We got to go to the Rogers Center, and I'm still a little aggravated about that.
I saw a game there. It was actually one of my favorite stadiums.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Everyone says
the coolest thing is we were on top of that tower the day before we were going to the game, and they opened the dome while we were on top. And I was like, well, that's really cool. What are the chances you get to see it open? Then while we're in the game, they say it's going to rain, so they start closing it like 15 minutes before the game. And, that's not one of those quick ones. It takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to close. So we got to see it close from inside.
That's cool.
And then, like, you go up to where, remember Jose Canseco hit that really long home run?
God.
You go up to where that actually was, and you look down to home plate, and you're like, Jesus. You're like, a human being hit a ball that far?
I was like, I want to go to Toronto. I want the team stay in that hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do all that. One of the hitters I trained, he's like, where's your favorite place to play? I was like, Coors, but I didn't get to go to Rogers Center. I always want to go to the Rogers Center. Oh, that's the only place I wanted to play at. He went to the Rogers Center like this past summer to watch a game.
Right.
He comes back just like last week. He's like, "Yeah, man, you missed out." So yeah, bro, you really messed out on that one. That was pretty cool at stadiums. Like, thanks.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's really slept on. People don't really realize how cool it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the toughest pitcher you ever faced?
2017 DeGrom.
DeGrom? Yeah,
DeGrom, like,
he was pretty
good
sick
God.
that year.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
Was that the year he
He
only
knew
lost like
exactly what he
3
was throwing.
games or something? I mean, just crazy.
Oh he had like his record was terrible, but he had like a sub 2, sub 1.5. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, his
You knew
ERA
exactly,
was ridiculous.
you knew exactly who he was throwing.
Yeah.
He didn't trick you. You just still couldn't hit it. Like there's like, you know how they say like when you're hitting, you don't see the last 10, 12 feet of the ball flight.
Right.
Like it's like his ball speeds up in that window. Like there was one pitch, like I know he's on a fastball. I'm going to cheat like hell to hit it. I was still late, like bro. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's like I tell my kids all the time. I call those people sneaky quick. I was like, because
Yeah,
it gets up on you. I was like, and then like you said, it almost seems like it speeds up at the end. Like, how
yeah,
did that ball go faster? Like, it just
exactly. And
seemed.
his like, yeah, and there's some guys like it's sneaky, but his like arm action's smooth. He's not like max effort. Everything's smooth. Like all right, you see the ball all right out of the release point, and then the next thing you know, you're like, I'm about to hit this ball a mile, and then the catcher's throwing it back to the pitcher. You're like, well, don't know what that's all about.
Did you
I don't
ever
know.
hit,
It was
did
a
you ever
weird one.
get to hit off Linticum?
No, I never got to face Lincecum.
Okay,
Actually, I did face Lincecum. It was in AAA though. It was like his last year. He was
he
dogging
looked
out.
weird. I was always like, how do
Yeah,
people hit off of him? That releases.
yeah, yeah. I never faced Prime Lincecum. I'm not too disappointed I didn't either.
So Jacob DeGrom, though, it doesn't surprise me, but yeah, that's an interesting one. He was good that year too. Steal a base or hit a home run.
Oh, hit a home run. I
Hit a
stole
home
enough
run.
bases. I had enough bases.
uh,
100% hit a home run.
what was your favorite home run you ever hit?
My favorite home run I ever hit. It should be the walk-off home run I hit against Miami. But it's gonna be the 3-run home run I hit in Miami, and on the second to last game, it's not meaningless home run. Meaningless home run. I just loved the way it felt. I told myself I was going to swing about 50% of that at bat and hit a home run, probably one of the farthest major league home runs I hit. Actually, yeah, that walk-off home run was pretty cool.
What stadium was that in?
It was at Miami.
But was it in the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Oh, okay.
Now they did the renovations and stuff since then. It was
Oh, they had the big monstrosity out in center field when you played there, that big sculpture or whatever.
Yeah. So the reason I like that home run so much is the day before we're getting like no hit through like the 7th inning. I'm hitting like 8th or 9th in the lineup, and I'm like muscling up. I always had tendency to like muscle up and try to swing the bat really hard. And I told myself like I'm gonna swing this bat so damn slow. Like I want to swing it like at least 20%. I want the fans to be able to read my name on the bat. So I'm throwing. And I do that, and I hit a home run like 97, like a 97 fastball out to center field, which is huge in Miami. I was like, geez. I'm running the bases like we're down like 8 runs. I'm trying not to smile. Like, oh my gosh, that was so sick. I swung so slow and hit the ball so far. Finally, the next day, same thing. I come up, runner second, third. It's the first inning. It's like, all right, don't muscle up. Same thing. Yeah. Another just bomb. Like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm gonna hit home runs. I'm Barry Bonds now. So I start off the game 1 for 1, the 3-run homer. Going 1 for 5. So I'm getting him a next best. I'm gonna hit another home run. Nope, 1 for 5. Like, damn. Those 2 home runs in Miami were special because I was just my intent was just like, I don't know, my mind. It was just a weird deal, but those 2 home runs stand out to me because of the process going into them.
So when you played in Miami, was Ichiro there, and did you ever see him take batting practice? Because I heard he hit tanks in batting practice.
Yes, Ichiro would win a home run derby if he ever got into it. Like it was his last
I've always
year
heard that, but I've never seen it. But everybody says that.
It was our last game of the season or last series of the season. He's out there hitting. Dude, he hits like 15 in a row. Like he's just out there dicking around. He's like, he like slaps balls away, slaps balls away. He's just at this point, I know he knows this is the last year. Probably last time taking batting practice on the field. He just lets it go.
He's just
15 in a row.
smoking them.
Just smokes them. 15 in a row. Easy too. Like not effort, just bang, bang. It's like, bro, game's not that easy.
That's funny
I
because
guess it is to him.
I've heard that from so many people. They're like, who can really hit home runs? Ichiro.
Yeah, he's a freak.
I'm like,
He's
what?
a
No
freak.
way. That's hilarious.
He's a freak.
Let's see. What is the most underrated part of your game?
My most underrated part of my game. I say my base running IQ. I'm really good base runner. I'm a very good base runner. Like I was like very good. In my opinion. Like I knew how
baseball
to,
people will know what you're talking about there.
Like like I was fast and stuff, but I had a very good stolen base percentage. Like I didn't just run because I was fast. Like I knew how to pick up on pitchers' tendencies, like what first move they had going to home, how to time up. I just had a very, very natural instinct for running the bases, both stealing and just like running itself. I don't know why that is, or actually I do know why. Our base running coordinator in Kansas City I came up with is probably the best in the world at base running. Rusty Kuntz. I think working under him for 6 years was I don't know what he ingrained in me, but he made me a hell of a base runner.
Kansas City's always had a good base running team.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as I can remember, even back to the 80s, they've always been a good running team.
Yeah.
What would your pregame hype song be?
All right. My hype. You want to, this is, I'm a very fast twitch guy. Like I'm very like spazzy in a sense.
Okay.
Like imagine like Hunter Pence.
Okay.
A little bit. All right. That's kind of how I was. I was like, I couldn't get hype. My pregame hype song was "Someone Like You" by Adele.
Someone Like You by Adele.
I had to listen to things that were like slow me down. I didn't have to speed up. I was already sped up. I was a walking freaking Adderall out there. I had to learn to slow myself down. So I had to listen to songs that were like 40 to 60 beats per minute. I would just get too spazzy. I had to do that. So I don't even like that song. This is always the best song for me pregame.
Now, what's your go-to meal before a game?
I'm not picky. Whatever the chef's cooking, honestly. I don't like to eat anything too heavy.
You weren't like Wade Boggs, you need a bucket of chicken or anything crazy?
No. When you spend as much time in the minor leagues as I did, you're grateful for anything you get in the big leagues. I'm not picky on that.
You're like, this sandwich is cooked? What are you talking about?
Hell yeah.
We got cold cuts down there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a pregame. I would drink one Coke before I go out to the game. Which, in the minor leagues, I had to like store a, can of Coke in the clubhouse.
To hide it.
In the big leagues, you get the fountain Cokes. I'm walking out there like a freaking 32-ounce freaking Coke.
You got the big gulp.
Yeah, exactly. And then in Atlanta, you had the freaking Frosties. I didn't do a Frosty for you. I stuck with the Coke, but definitely had a Frosty after.
Oh, that's funny. What was the best advice a coach ever gave you?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. It was. We were at freaking. It was our minor league coordinator at Kansas City. It was Doug Sisson. I don't know what he's doing now. He goes, rule number 1, don't suck. Fair? He goes, rule number 2, if you do suck, don't be a pussy about it. Like, all right. that stuck with me. I was like, you know what? Again, it's like, that's kind of a ridiculous thing to say. But as I go, it's like, all right, yeah, you're probably gonna suck. I try not to suck. And you do suck. Don't complain, don't pout about it. It's like, all right. That stuck with me the most.
It's funny, Joe Madden, when he coached the Cubs in 2016, he wore a T-shirt around that said, try not to suck.
Oh, yeah, I got that T-shirt. I got it. I got it.
Every
I
time
got. I was with the Cubs in 16, and they had those shirts in spring training. Like, I don't know what y'all got to do. I want one of those shirts. And someone gave me one of those shirts. I still wear it to this day.
So I didn't realize. So what was the difference between the two teams, real quickly, between the 15 Royals and the 16 Cubs?
I was in the AAA team with them. So I don't really know. I wasn't on the big leagues with them,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But from an outside perspective, it looked like a lot of the same. You kind of had like it was a young crew that all kind of came up together in a sense, like Schwarber, Bryant, Baez. They're all kind of like younger crew. Then you had Rizzo. You had Lester was there, who was like it was kind of like the mold of the team was very like a lot of the same mold as far as like
I thought the
player
All-Star game
profile
was
things.
very ironic this year because you had Baez and Pete Crow Armstrong, and they were actually traded for each other back
Yeah,
in, what was
right.
it? Yeah, I thought that was kind of ironic. I was like, oh, cool. Now they're both, because I love Javi Baez. I hate to see him do bad.
I
I
do
always,
too.
he was a pleasure to watch play. Like, I
I do
love
too.
those
I
guys
like
that look
him.
like they're just having fun all the time.
Yeah, I was telling the other day, like y'all have no idea how happy I am to see Javi Baez be good again.
Yeah.
I liked him personally.
I still got back behind me. I still got, what is it? MLB The Show 20,
There you go. I got a signed
the
jersey.
big box that had his picture on it.
I got a signed jersey from him in the house. Him, Bryant, Schwarber,
Oh
Lester,
wow,
Rizzo.
that's
I got a
awesome.
bunch of these guys sign a jersey for me when I played against them.
All right, here's some fun stuff. Sneakers or cleats? Which one do you collect more of?
Uh, uh, Sneakers for sure.
Sneakers? Is that like, do you collect sneakers, or do you have like a go-to
I used
collectible?
to. I used to. I don't anymore. I used to get them for free. When I was a Nike, you get everything for free.
Right?
When I got it for free, I collected them. I just started paying for them. I still buy shoes. Not as much as I used to, but yeah, I probably have over 150 pair of sneakers.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Well, I mean, I can't say much. I got a huge wall of
I
Hot Wheels
see
cars,
that.
so yeah. Jordan or LeBron? This is always a big,
LeBron. I'm a
this is always a
LeBron
big
guy. I'm
debate.
a
Oh,
LeBron guy.
really?
I met LeBron.
So
I met
I went and watched LeBron play in high school. I actually lived in Ohio when
really.
I lived about 25 minutes north of him, up in Youngstown. They played in Akron. And yeah,
Yeah,
I went and watched. It was crazy because I was like, I've never seen this many people at a college game. There was just
yeah.
people everywhere. It was nuts.
I saw him in AU tournament. I was in young. He was in Vegas, and I saw him like, oh, this guy's crazy. And then I went to his LeBron James Skills Academy, like top 80 camp, and I
Right?
met him there. He hung out with us for like 5 days. He was like interacting with us, like
Oh
working
wow.
out with us. Like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Now see,
He was,
that's like that most people don't know about him. So I mean, that I could definitely see that. Let's see. What's your favorite movie of all time?
favorite movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption.
Really? I mean, I will say I can't flip through the channels and find that and not stop on it.
It's hard, right?
I will
Same.
always. I mean, it
Same.
could be halfway through, and I mean, it's a great movie. I agree with you.
Fantastic.
Not my favorite of all time, but boy, it catches me every
What's your
time.
favorite of all time?
Tombstone.
My roommate would watch Tombstone
Yeah,
every Friday
I
night.
love me some
Every
Tombstone.
Friday night. So I like Tombstone. I'd never seen it before until I watched them. Then I watched like 40 times one summer.
Yeah,
Every Friday night he'd watch it.
Tombstone. Gladiator's a good one. I like
Gladiator,
Gladiator.
yep.
The original one, not the new one was done good though. I did like the new one. Hidden talent that we don't know about you.
Uh this is how you spend a lot of time on a bench and in a baseball. I can spit very accurately. Like I can spit like if I walk on the sidewalk and I can spit it in a crack of a sidewalk. 90, I'm shooting about 85, 90% on my spit accuracy. Like, I don't know why I can do
That
that.
might be one of the best answers I've ever heard because that
You're
is
the
a
first
completely
person I've
hidden
ever
talent.
told. You're the first person I've ever told
That
I
is
can do this.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome, and that totally fits the whole baseball vibe and everything. I mean, he's like, "Hey, I spent a lot of time on the bench. I know how to spit, right?" Let's
Mhm.
see. Well, let's see who's winning a race, you now or rookie Lane Adams.
Rookie Lane Adams. Unfortunately, as much as my ego doesn't want to admit, not by much. But rookie 19-year-old Lane would dust 35-year-old Lane.
Not in the same shape anymore, huh?
Not quite.
Oh, this is a good one because man, this has been on my spot. I mean, this has been on my list and radar lately. What is your dream vacation spot?
My dream vacation spot.
Uh, I love cruise ships, man. I've been stuck on
No.
cruise ships lately. They're just so much fun.
Oh, I like cruises. Me and my wife on our honeymoon went to Jade Mountain in St. Lucia, which was like it was back when I was making some pretty good money. I would never, as a regular civilian, I'm not gonna
You're
spend
like,
money
no
like
way
that
would I spend
again
that
for
now.
a trip. But for a one-time anniversary, that was awesome. That was cool. Cruise ships. Hey, I I went on a cruise. My family used to go on like Disney cruises every summer, and I didn't
Oh,
get to
nice.
go. I was playing, right? So I never got to go on a cruise. Well, we go on a cruise my first year of retirement. We go on a cruise. I'm thinking I'm going to hate it. I don't like people. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I was
I was like, oh,
I
I
was
love
scared to be
cruises.
out in the ocean. I was like, what happens when I look out and I don't see anything but water?
Yeah, that's wow.
I,
That's a
I was
little.
like, that's gonna freak me out, but it didn't. I loved it.
Cruises were great. There were a lot. I enjoyed them so much more than I thought I would. So
See,
much more.
I'm trying to get a cruise line to put together a streamer cruise. I've reached out to like Carnival and them. I'm like, we could have so much fun. We have some guys on there playing some show. We could
They
have
got the
some.
Wi-Fi for that on there.
I mean, they should. They got Starlink. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure maybe we could just hook up with Elon, just be like, hey, bro, check us
there
out.
you go.
This,
There you go.
he's all about technology. He'd be up for it, right? Yeah.
Sure. Can't be hard to figure out.
Yeah, so every now and then I'll put a post out and I'll tag like Carnival and Shaquille O'Neal because he's apparently their fun ambassador. So, but yeah, that's awesome. This is a fun one. What was your first big purchase after making it to the show? Or not even
My
making it
first.
to the show, just when you first got that big paycheck, what was your first big purchase?
Oh, like every dumbest teenager, I bought a freaking car.
A car?
But
What'd you buy?
I bought a 2011 Tahoe. Oh no, 2010 Tahoe, fully
Okay.
loaded. I had was remember Rob Deerdeck's white on white. I did that white rims, had the right white rims, powder coat. I just sold that thing 2 years ago.
Are you
I
serious?
drove that. If I could buy it again, I would do. I would if I could buy that same vehicle for under 50,000 miles. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That was my favorite vehicle. I had over 250,000 miles on it. I drove. I had no problems with it. I mean, was it a smart investment at the time? No, but I mean, I drove it
I'll say you got your
for
money's worth, it
13
sounds
years,
like.
13, 14 years, and the only problem I had was I didn't have one problem. Yeah, I didn't have one problem with it. No, not one big time problem with it. It was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's about all I got for you, man. Is there anything else that I mean, you got anything going on you want to promote or talk about? Feel free to right now. This is your platform to do whatever you want.
I don't really have anything outside of my stream. I don't really have much going on here, man. I train a bunch of hitters at my house. Like if I was to turn this cage around and turn the lights on, you would see it. I'm in my batting cage.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty cool. My setup's in my batting cage. Uh, so yeah, you can't see it. If I just turn my camera around, my batting cage is right there. It's right outside across the driveway of my house. So if you have any listeners or anything or need like help with hitting or anything, I have social media accounts they can follow me on there. But other than that, they're not really all I got going on over here.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that because I've had a joy. In fact, I've even watched stuff that you've done and you know told my sons about it. Like, hey, try this or hey, try this. They're like, where are you getting this from? I'm like,
Don't tell them.
I was like this former major leaguer that I follow on TikTok, and they're like, how do you find these people? They're like, how do you find these people? I'm like, I was like, you never know. I was like, you can learn a lot from anybody in baseball. I
Hey,
was
you
like,
never know what you're
everybody
gonna
has a different experience.
Everybody does, for sure, for sure.
I mean, I've learned some of the most baseball from people that never touched the diamond, but
Oh
they
yeah, like
just know so much. I mean,
that guy I hit with, that Craig guy,
huh?
he didn't play baseball in high school. He
Yeah.
dropped out, lived in his van, was a hippie. I don't know how he got it. Now he trains all these major league hitters.
Well, isn't it like
Rod Reed.
Bruce Bochy? He never really played much baseball, and he's like one of the best coaches of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah. It's crazy who you can learn things from, man. It really
Exactly.
is. It's wild. That's cool though. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Well, hey man, I appreciate it. It's been a blast. I mean, it's always fun to talk to you guys that have a lot more experience than we do, but also see how genuine and how just down to earth you guys really are. So, I mean, if you guys don't know, like I said, I stumbled upon him on TikTok playing MLB The Show. So, uh, it's interesting how your worlds can cross and collide. So, it's been a pleasure, man.
Hey, for sure, man. Thanks for having me, man. I've enjoyed it. It's been great.
All right, man. I will see you later and probably see you on TikTok again someday.
Sounds good. See you next time.
Have a good one, brother.
You as well.
Later, man.